today's video, I'm going to be talking about some design trends that I think we're going to be seeing more prominently going into 2025. I'm kind of reflecting on some things I've been seeing in both like the underground scene of streetwear as well as like the bigger brands and kind of what I've been seeing. So yeah, I'm going to talk about a couple different trends that I think we'll continue to see into 2025. And really, this video is just for anyone that's either A, like stuck in a creative rut, B, anyone's like a new brand owner or thinking about starting a brand and want to stray away from like just doing a basic graphic tees and hoodies, some different designs and things that you can implement within your brand to be more successful, and some things that if you want to play on a trend and try to experiment in that space, then go for it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the first one I'll talk about is, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, but Trompe. Basically, it is the optical illusion of these like looking real, but it's really just 2D. So this started earlier this year when we saw Acne Studios. They did a handful of denim with this sort of print. I think it's personally pretty cool and something that's been experimented on quite a bit. It's been around for a couple decades. Of course, people have been using this, but I've been seeing this personally a lot more this year, brands experimenting with this type of print. We saw Supreme do their hoodie and I believe pants. I think it was from this fall winter collection. So yeah, again, these are pretty cool. It looks like something they would actually make with like all the actual buttons and distressing. But of course, it's all printed. It's not actually real. And then looking at some smaller brands, I noticed Crash Vancouver. For the most recent collection, they also did this Hunter Scars work jacket. Again, pretty solid, not too bad. They have this bloody bandaging, the camo. I think they have some other details like this, the gloves and the rope on the back. Even the belt itself is printed. So a lot of room for just like designers and brands to kind of play with this idea, whether it is a hoodie, a jacket, pants. You can even do other garments and accessories you can mess around with, hats, whatever. Yeah, I think there's a lot of room to continue to experiment with this type of design style. And so one other brand I'd found was also Brigade. Not the biggest fan of this one. They did this like fleece zip jacket, but then all of, like the patches are printed, and I think even the pockets. So yeah, not the biggest fan of this one. But then they also did the old printing t-shirt onto a hoodie. I think Supreme did this one a while ago as well. Maybe it was a Margiela collab. But yeah, I like this one a little bit more. Obviously, it's a little interesting to wear, and it's a little bit more for like a shock and shock value factor. Yeah, definitely a design style to play with and something to be keeping on your mind. So the next one I'll talk about is knit jerseys. Especially, I've seen this a lot with soccer as well as some other sports. One thing to be thinking about when you're designing stuff, and this is something that I think about a lot, is just what can I take, whether it's like an existing product, aka like a jersey, and what kind of like new material can I mess around with to create kind of a new idea. So I know 42 is one of the kind of the first brands, or one of the main brands that did this first. They did a lot of these knit soccer jerseys for just different countries. This is smart from like business perspective because you're kind of playing on everyone's countries. So they kind of just went with Argentina, Mexico, Croatia, Portugal, Germany. I mean, they have all of the main soccer countries, as well as of course like U.S. They did further expand this into hoodies with Argentina and Brazil, obviously playing on the top numbers from players like with Messi or R9. So yeah, pretty smart from both a design and a business perspective, in my opinion. We also saw ALD do these knit jerseys this year, a little bit more, I guess, like higher end, if you will, but still pretty simplistic. And I think we're going to continue to see this type of trend of combining mediums with like jerseys with knits, and really just other, I think there's a lot of other products and materials that can be experimented with. This is just the one that I have seen the most of. I know earlier this year we also saw Veil, or this is actually late 2022, and I'm surprised I haven't seen more of stuff like this, but this mohair basketball jersey, I remember seeing a while back. And then we also had Pieces Uniques, I believe based out of France, but this one's super viral. This sort of like knit, maybe partially like crochet, again, soccer jersey. And yeah, they went absolutely crazy with this one. I know this one did a lot of volume for them. They even did a Black Friday like black edition. So love this whole concept, and I definitely think it's something to be thinking about, and we'll probably continue to see more of into 2025. So the next one I want to talk about is experiments with puffers. Not necessarily just puffer jackets in general, but like this kind of experimentation we've seen. So I saw this the other day. This brand called Stuff. They did this like it's almost like a shirt overcoat, but it's a puffer with even like the puffy like tie. This is just really solid. They're more like they do a bit of more higher end stuff at times, and also some more reasonably priced stuff. So I think this jacket's like 500 pounds or euros or whatever. Super cool. Love this whole concept. It's actually reversible too. So just adding on, I don't think I've seen a reversible puffer before, or at least one like this. I don't know if they have more content about this. So yeah, there it is, like on person. I think that's a super cool concept. Again, we have other brands kind of tapping into this whole like unique puffers. We have again Perts de Go. I don't know how to pronounce this one. Kind of playing off that House of Errors trend where they've been doing the really high quality stitched puffers showing like different like graphics, if you will. So love this one. I can believe this one's actually like quilted. So yeah, this one's solid, and I even did my own rendition of this earlier this year. This I call this the Out of Time jacket. This still isn't even released yet. I'm still sampling this, hoping to release it early next year. So hopefully in a couple months we'll see. And then of course the forerunner of this is House of Errors. Not only have they done that kind of traditional like quilted stitched look that we've seen before, if I can find one that's kind of more reminiscent of what I was talking about earlier, like this puffer vest, but they've also continued to go even crazier with stuff like this bubblegum mega coat, like absolutely crazy, playing with these just different cuts and being very gradients. And yeah, I think there's a lot of room for like puffers specifically to be experimented on. And the last one I want to touch base is not anything new that we haven't seen before, but just like one of ones and really printing on existing garments. I think this is sustainability will continue to become more and more prevalent as time passes, and we're just constantly pushing out new product, just brands everywhere. So we have this brand Better with Age. They've been doing this for a while. Their own types of one of ones, but really getting at like those people that like source vintage and then kind of print their own logos on it. I think it's a smart play personally. Like just going out and sourcing vintage and then using those as garments to put your own like words, touch, story, message, logo on. I think it's definitely something that's like can be pretty efficient or effective. And one person slash brand I saw doing this a lot is if you're familiar with Austin Babbitt or Ass Pizza, he's been doing this a while. I think at some regards it becomes a little lazy if you're just putting like simple logos garments on like or simple logos on garments or prints on everything. I don't think that should be the sole brand strategy. I think there needs to be a little bit more to it. But he did do this 151 Pokemon collection from like the Gen 1 Pokemon series. And yeah, they just sourced like a ton of vintage like tees and whatever across whatever, and then they printed all 151 Pokemon on this and made it like a whole series and collection, and they're giving out certain like prizes or like rewards for like I think tiers, like if you get all 151, because they did like 15 to 20 of each Pokemon. So in total there's like how many there is, like 3,000 teas they did. So yeah, if you're able to get like all 151, they're doing like a very special thing for that. But yeah, I think this is like a cool concept. I personally think it's cool. I don't own any of these or gonna buy any of these. They also did this like custom Pokemon cards with it, so really cool concept and execution on the brand side. I think brands should continue to think about how they can be more sustainable. We've even seen brands like, and again, this isn't anything new, but like Basket Case Gallery for their pop-ups, they always have screens open so where people can just bring in their existing garments or whatever it is, or even source their own vintage and bring it in, can then custom print their own like graphics on those things. So yeah, that's kind of all I got for today. A bit of a shorter video. Really just wanted to try something different, talking about some design trends. I think design slash brand trends that we'll continue to see. I can do more of these if you'd like. But yeah, really appreciate all the feedback recently. Going to be continuing to put out more content. Again, I'm kind of doing this experiment with like 30 days of content. Just kind of seeing how it goes. Just every idea that I come up with, just turning it into a video and seeing how it turns out. So again, appreciate all the support recently. Drop a like, leave a comment if you can. Would appreciate any feedback as usual. And yeah, until then, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.